Hey everybody, it's time for another real life superhero intro. This time this is another sports combat rock and roll costume intro. Only this one, my first one, which was at nighttime, that was more of a rant version. This is more of a positive review version. This will also be the debut intro for another real life superhero debut and my progress as a real life superhero. So with that being said, let me hit both of the interest themes. I'm using both Kurt Angle's and Jeff Hardy's Impact Wrestling themes. Let me hit the intro right now.
My destiny to the top, top, the top, the top, the top, the top. My destiny at the top, at the top, at the top. My destiny past the top, past the top, past the top. Still my destiny past the top, past the top, past the top. Straight to the top, but then keep heading up. These stars shine the widest yet. About what is real and how it really is still. The only way to feel the pain sometimes feels in the way that you rise as strong as we face in this life. There's a lot of time to get the showcase. This feels you again, but really ignored. Life if I want to show how this style is the best in life. Show a way to make it right, make it to the top of my vision. Until you feel there's nothing more for you to do or say. Not even getting my way, come down. If you do, you'll be back home.
Get up, I'll never let up. Ferocious, I'm fed up, dismissing the competition. You're hopeless, my trash, they're efficient. Listen, you want a class on tradition? Or one condition? Forget the best of the century. Talk about the best of all time, you better mention me. Essentially, I'm the best of what it's to be. I hold my ground, you never take it from under me. Don't run to me, so I'll be trouble. I hit you so many times, you see triple or double instead of one of me. I got more heart, more weight to tear you apart. I lay you down early on, or maybe in the later round. It's no different to me. If you tap out, cash out, or simply pass out for free. Cause face down, really, you barely alive. Cause I'm an animal inside, hear me? Hopefully you see what I mean. Knock you out, have a scene. You were beaten by a triple team. Box you out the whole scene and gleam. The loud lights my dream. I shine bright. Smash you, front to back. You gon' need hindsight. In fact, when I attack, you're lucky if I leave you intact. I'm prone to overkill. I work you over till I steal your motor skills. It's the same whenever I'm done. You're numb, throw the thumb. And those can't remember their name or where they're from. And some speechless, dumb, looking deaf and dumb. You'll be like 7 days. Get afraid, I'm amazed. Y'all still step up, cause I hit more men than Jenna Jameson in better days. You can't clear your heads, you with a Jenna head.
Hey everybody, it's now time for my large on-camera webcam real-life superhero review and overview of the 1987 Hasbro cartoon Visionaries, Age of Magic. Yes, this is the large webcam version. To see the short part 1 narration intro version, the link will be in the description box below. After seeing the entire series, it only lasted 13 episodes, so this review was quick to make. must say, awesome series. It's not without its flaws, which I'm going to get to when I get to the on-camera portion, but phenomenal series. Episode 3 will play in the background since that's where I left off. I rewatched episode 1 and 2 for the post-reaction, post-webcam reviews, because it's hard to remember everything that happens in each episode. Especially with this series, Visionaries, Age of Magic, where there's so much going on at one time. So, with that, and also since this is a weapons-themed television series, one of my swords and one of my sticks will be props in this video. So with that being said, let me start the video and make my grand entrance on screen.
It is a time when magic is more powerful than science, and only those who control the magic control destiny. They are the Visionaries. Last episode, the Darkling Lord set about capturing the good knights of Prismos one by one.
Yeah, like I said, in the short part 1 narration intro, I first saw Visionaries, Age of Magic in mid to late 2013. I saw 7 to 6 plus episodes. I couldn't tell what was going on, so I couldn't review it. I couldn't review it because so much was happening at one time that I couldn't put together not even a small review. So I waited till I rewatched the entire series to do a review. I later discovered the new reviewing style with the narration and webcam first. But once again, I only had enough for a narration, not for the webcam, so I decided to do that from now on. A short narration review in a larger part 2 webcam review and overview.
But before the
overview season by season or episode by episode. I'm not going to do episode by episode here because it's just too much. So it'll be one. This will be one giant video, not several splashed into one. Because it's just this show is just too hard to follow and review. So yeah, Visionaries, Age of Magic. Visionaries, Age of Magic. I finally got around to rewatching it in 2023, pretty much a decade later. And once again, I must say, just like in 2013, phenomenal series. This series is a cross between Hasbro's previous shows, Transformers and G.I. Joe, Hanna-Barbera's 1980 sci-fi cartoon, which also featured men in armor called Centurions. For the Marvel superheroes, Iron Man and Thor. Like Iron Man, the characters wear armor that's mechanical, but just like Thor, their armor also comes with magic. And King Arthur and the King Arthur and Excalibur mythology, minus the Excalibur sword, minus the Excalibur sword and King Arthur and Knights of the Round Table. Instead of the Knights of the Round Table, you have these two factions of knights going at it: the Spectral Knights and the Dark Lords, all set up to compete in games and challenges by the wizard Merlin, the other character from the King Arthur, Knights of the Round Table, Excalibur mythology. The only one here is Merlin.
To enrage me into doing
Merlin, and this is one of the rare cartoons where Merlin has a neutral stance for most of the series. So yeah, and while not as big and not as well executed in my opinion, this is way better than the Transformers and G.I. Joe cartoons. But it's not as big, and it wasn't as executed as well, which is one of the two reasons. One of the main reasons this show was canceled. I'm gonna get a lot of flack for that, but yeah. yeah, one of the main reasons this show was canceled, I'm going to reveal the first one now, is that this show suffered from what just about a lot of 80s cartoons suffer from. The 80s were an awesome time, but one thing I can't stand about the 80s was that no kill rule in cartoons. That ruined a lot of great cartoons. One of the biggest plot holes and inconsistencies with this cartoon was no one permanently killed or captured, or at least if you can't kill, capture the what you call it. Each character had to stay alive and stay in one piece for the next episode. For the next episode and for the series to continue. That is the biggest flaw with this cartoon right here. One of the main reasons it was canceled. We can get to the other one later. The other flaw is everyone has the same power. Everyone has the same power. Only thing is different is their animals. So it made it difficult to tell which knight. It made it difficult to tell which knight apart, especially when they have their helmets on. And it makes the action on the scene hard to follow. That's the other flaw with this. G.I. Joe and Transformers, you had a clear-cut struggle. Who to?
Isn't that a little overambitious? Perhaps.
Who's who? So, yeah, Visionaries, Age of Magic. But it's a great cartoon. It's a great idea that should have been tried again in any of the modern time periods. The 90s, 2000s, and now the 2010s, 2020s. So, yeah, Visionaries, Age of Magic.
I am Sir Ace McGillicuddy, magical witness.
Visionaries,
I'm having a devil of a time repairing this magical dungeon.
Age of Magic aired from 1987 till I think early 1988. For 13 plus episodes, one season. One season. The storyline is set in the futuristic world of primals. Prismos or primals, whatever. And Merlin. Oh yeah. Oh, primals. And where technology, all technology has stopped working because of the suns, because multiple suns aligning, causing radiation, which rendered technology useless and forced it to stop working. So Merlin sets up a game, a series of challenges called the Visionaries, where these two groups of knights, the good guys, the spectral knights led by Leoric, and the bad guys led by Darkstorm, will compete in a series of challenges to see who controls the magic. The winner will be rewarded with the magic. Leoric takes it upon himself as the leader of the good guys, the spectral knights, to have him and his team do everything in their power to complete the challenge, which is conquering some special land.
My guess is that you can too.
Which is conquering some special land, and Darkstorm does everything in his power. Darkstorm and his Dark Lords does everything in their power to sabotage the chances. This right here, sabotage their chances. After the challenge is over in the first episode, the two factions form a truce, and Merlin bestows upon them each special powers. He gives Leoric the lion. He gives each one a spiritual animal called the totem. I can't remember each one, and it's hard to remember. It's hard to remember which animal and who had what power. I just remember Leoric had the lion. He gives them powers based upon not only their personality and actions and performance in the game, the Visionaries challenge. And the totems, the characters utilize these powers with either a whip or a weapon. They swing it like that, like I just did, and the spirit of the animal comes out and attacks and does whatever. Whoever spiritual animal is. I remember, like I said, Leoric has the lion. Galandria, one of the only females, has a dolphin. Dolphin Arzon has like a spiritual genie, and yeah, the good guys are Leoric the leader, Pharaoh the youngest member, Witterkick, the blonde hair, the only blonde haired Spectral Knight, and Cryotech, the oldest Spectral Knight, Galandria, the only female knight who I said controls the dolphins, and last but not least, Hector, the only knight without powers, who's a lieutenant and who's a police officer before becoming a knight, and is good at piloting vehicles. I like the spectral knights. I like the spectral knights better. They did a good job of on fleshing out good and evil, because I like the spectral knights, and while I like the Dark Lords, I like their powers and abilities. The Dark Lords themselves, I can't stand them. They're a-holes. So yeah, with all of the Spectral Knights and Darkstorm, the leader, the most memorable Dark Lord, Belarusa, the only female member, Sindar, the nicest member of the group, and Mordred, the coward recipient of the group, are the best Dark Lords and my all-time favorite characters, alongside Merlin. Like I said, Merlin has a neutral stance on this. He first approaches the Dark Lords. He first approaches the Dark Lords. But what's his face? Darkstorm refuses him and drops him in the water, so he later approaches the Spectral Knights. And despite the Dark Lords refusing him, he aids the Dark Lords up until episode 8, one of the biggest episodes, where Darkstorm, fed up with Merlin and his challenges, and fed up with Leoric, the leader who Darkstorm has a rivalry with. The two leaders have a rivalry with each other. He steals Merlin's power orb, which allows him to control all of Merlin's magic, and banishes Merlin to a magician's jail. Dark Lord appears to have won. With this magic, he can do pretty much whatever he wants. However, magic and power comes at a price. And Merlin foresaw this happen, so he activated a safe switch on the ball that no matter what happens, when someone stole the ball, several gigantic plagues will happen. Plagues will happen. This forced the Knights to team up. To stop the plagues and to rescue and return the ball, to rescue Merlin from Magician's Jail and return the ball. And the ball eventually returned to Merlin, and Merlin, after this, ends his relationship with the Dark Lords, and while he still maintains a neutral stance, he tries better to aid the Spectral Knights more in the following episodes. One thing I like about this is despite it being a short 13 episode series, even the Wikipedia pages comment on this. This series tries more on character development. Characters are placed in various situations where it's up to their wit and abilities, and sometimes teamwork and camaraderie, and trusting someone you don't like in order to solve the case. Action sequences are good, because everyone has the same type of armor. The only thing different is their animal and facial features. It's difficult to tell what's going on. yeah, it's difficult to tell what's going on. So, I mentioned other flaws with this series. I thought the season finales, both of the season finales, episode 12 and 13, and also episodes 5, I thought were weak, especially 12 and 13. 12 and 13. 12 and 13. I can't remember what 12 was about, but 13. 13. This is one of the reasons the show was canceled. 13 had the
Darkling Lords disappeared as quickly as they came.
13 had the Knights.
Were it not for you,
13 had the Knights. Episode 13 had the Knights facing several tiny miniature magical creatures. I can see if they were big, giant magical creatures, but tiny, mythical, mischief magical creatures called the Imps, who caused all sorts of problems. And the Knights were dispatched by Merlin. The Knights were dispatched by Merlin to work together and bring them in. This is another calamity that causes both the Spectral Knights and the Dark Lords to work together. After fighting each other for most of the series, the Dark Lords and the Spectral Knights work together to stop these lame magical imps. And I just thought that was weak for a finale. I wanted a final showdown with the Dark Lords and the Spectral Knights, with the Spectral Knights winning and either killing them, imprisoning them, or permanently capturing them together, or doing something where the Dark Lords can't abuse their powers or do anything to them anymore. Yeah, that's what I wanted. But while the episode itself was weak, I still like the episode because I love the climax and the development of the characters. After 13 episodes with both sides going against each other, trying to possess magic, you know what, at the end, when Merlin offers magic up as a reward, both Visionaries and even the leader, Darkstorm, of the Dark Lords, both of them, and everyone agrees that we don't need magic anymore. We can manage right there. And because the show was canceled, the series ends right there. So at least ending it on a happy note with both sides realizing the benefits but also consequences of magic. Power comes at a price, and deciding it's better to do without it because power comes without the price and it's intoxicating. That part I am like, sorry, I spat a little, but that right there, I like right there. So they still ended on a happy note. So despite the final episode being weak for a finale, that was good. By the way, favorite and best episodes include episodes 1 through 4. You're listening to episode 3 in the background. Episode 6, I mentioned episode 5 also being weak. I can't remember what it was about. Episode 6, 7, 8, 9. 7 was interesting because Leoric is turned into an actual lion in that episode. Episode 9, 10, and episode 9, 10, and 11. These are my favorite and best episodes. For episode 8, that was the episode where Darkstorm captures Merlin's orb and imprisons Merlin in a wizard's jail while he uses the orb, while he uses and briefly controls Merlin's magic. This was the biggest and best episode of the season finale. Should have been something like this instead of the actual season finale we got. But yeah, so yeah, Visionaries, Age of Magic, an awesome cartoon that, like I said, deserves a second chance. I would have included in my cartoons that deserve a second chance, which will be remade in the future, but my 2014 version, had I seen all of this series, but I couldn't take a lot in, which is why I postponed these webcam reviews until indefinitely. So, yeah, this was my review and overview of the series. Like I said, I'll do the episode with post-episode reactions because there's so much happening in the episodes, I barely understand what happens in each episode that I gotta keep watching until I have enough to where I can do a review. So,
he is the wizard
yeah.
believed until recently
to see the previous versions and other versions, the links will be in the description box below. Both Visionaries, Age of Magic, there are 2 playlists with all 13 episodes here on YouTube. So, yeah. and you can watch these at various streaming sites. There were only 13 episodes. So, yeah, this was, like I said, these videos were the first in a series of visionary reviews. The next ones will be the comic books and the television series. The comic books and television series joint review, and the comic books themselves when I finish reading them. This was Visionaries of Magic. Visionaries of Magic. If you want to hear the rest of the music, turn the video off right now. In the meantime, let me get out of here.
You can make the dragon feel fear.
I owe you no such favor.
Then you owe it to yourself.
Perhaps you're right. Oh, mist-filled pits, dark, dank, unclear. Touch all before me with frost-fingered fear. Mucklin gave them too great a power.
You got him, you can spot him every Thursday night on TNA. It's like a spotlight and main events in his DNA. Who you say? It's Kurt Angle, Benito, settled. Best in the world, only guy in this world with a gold medal. Right, your both ends to the center. Physical and mental, cause he's simply better. No playing around with no second attempts. And lay it down for a 3-second nap on the back. You staring at the ceiling on your back is appealing. Get yourself a match and you gonna do that. It's a rap, you trapped in the game. You a rat in the maze, it's the maze how I made my name. My fame is a runaway train on the track. I'm fighting my life's on the line. That's why I'm gonna take that strap.